I think we are live.
Here we are.
We're live. And I'm checking over on Twitch to see if we are live over there. No. Oh, now we're live. Ooh, with a cool background too. And then
We're live on Facebook.
We are live on Facebook. I think we're live everywhere now.
Perfect.
And so if you do, so there's a channel option, the comment section over there that should pop up from all of the all of the streaming platforms. So, hey everybody, little inside baseball there. Sorry about that. We're still getting used to it. We figured out how to do a background behind us. So have some cool stock art, and then we have a little like button there. I'm getting into this StreamYard thing, so very cool. So how you doing, Shan? Ready to rock and roll?
I'm here. I'm excited. Let's do it. I've been in the house. I don't think I've been in the house, or I've left the house since like Saturday because of the storm.
Oh yeah, how bad has it been there?
Crazy.
How bad has it been there?
Well, it's fine now. It's just today I ended up staying here. But I mean, we got a lot of snow, and my kids have been off school for the last couple of days, and all that good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, the good thing about my kid being virtual is that he doesn't have snow days.
True. Here's the thing. I always think I want to be snowed in, and it's so romantic, and I'm so excited, right? And then we get to this point, and I'm like, all right, I got to go have wine with someone.
Yeah, I actually drove around. I actually got the truck out and drove around the block twice. Because the sidewalks aren't necessarily consistently clear, so I couldn't do that.
Sure.
But, how much snow did you get? And then we'll stop the weather talk. How much snow did you get?
I don't know. Estimating that kind of stuff for me, I mean, it could be like 5 inches. It could be 2 feet.
We got about 1.5 feet. Judging by my size of my foot. So.
Okay, that makes sense. There you go. I like it. We were projected to get about 7 inches, so we're gonna go. Well,
we must have crossed over you, and then we also have the ocean.
Yeah, during the storm, and then we got more after. So
who knows? You also don't get the lake effect that Cleveland gets.
No.
And you also don't get the Atlantic nor'easters that we get because we're along the coast.
Right. Yeah. No, we're right.
We get walloped. Yeah, you're kind of but you get tornadoes though. Do you?
I guess.
Sometimes. All right, enough weather talk. Let's talk about community.
I don't really think we're here to talk weather, but okay.
No, let's talk about community. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I guess we should, of course, thank our 2 sponsors. And then Shannon has a very cool something to tell us about her event coming up soon. So she'll talk about that as well. And there'll be a link in the show notes for that as well. But we want to thank Alex Hillman of the Tiny MBA. Show notes has the link. Go click there, buy the book. 107 pages. It is fantastic. Quick read, tweet length, little snippets. Get your tiny MBA from Alex Hillman.
I'm super excited to get mine. Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, so I sent Shannon one. So definitely. And also Breezy masks. I'm getting they're supposedly in the mail and they're supposed to have arrived, but we had snow. And we'll leave that alone. I'm not going to bust
I think that's a good idea.
I already talked about the U.S. Postal Service prior to us going live. I'm not going to go into it here.
Yes.
But we love our postal workers. Don't get me wrong. I love them. Just not as reliable as they used to be. We'll leave it at that. Anyhow, let's roll.
Let's do it. I like it.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hey, everyone. Welcome to that's not the 7th. I'll start over. I screwed up. In the show notes on an update, it's the 7th episode. We're on number 9 now.
Here we go.
We're doing it live
again. 3, 2, 1.
I'm number 9 here. 9. Of course, now I can't type either. There we go. All right. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode of the 2nd season of the Digital Marketing Dive podcast. I am Seth.
Hello.
With me, as always, is the amazing Shannon of Dime Business Consulting. And I think I should also say I'm with Goldstein Media. But I'll get that order at some point, Anyhow. Shannon, you ready to talk about some community and both online and off?
Absolutely. One of my favorite topics.
Oh yeah, you're very big in community, as am
Oh,
I.
yeah.
And this whole COVID, I guess you can call it dumpster fire, fiasco, cluster, you know what? All those adjectives or adverbs that describe. I was not an English major, so don't hold me to what those were. But all those descriptors that describe COVID-19 and what we're going through
Right.
has really made community interesting. Hasn't gotten rid of it at all. It's just done some interesting things with it.
Yes, just like everything else, it's
Hmm.
different, right?
It's very
It's
different.
different. And as much as the last year has just been beyond crazy. I mean,
Mm.
as a complete side note, I looked through some photos or memories on Facebook the other day of last year at this time, and I thought I had no idea what was about to smack us in the face.
No one of us did.
None,
I
none.
remember I remember COVID, hearing about it and hearing that the first cases were hitting in March, in like late February. I
Right.
think for our Valentine's Day, my wife and I went to Atlantic City to the Borgata. And
Nice.
then and that was the last outing slash date we had.
Sure.
I remember being at the co-working space, the community that I'm part of, still part of, just virtually now, in Doylestown called Stacks Co. I remember trying to buy some disinfectant wipes and stuff just to kind of get things kind of cleaned around there, not really knowing what to expect,
Right. Because
thinking
this,
that this stuff was going to stick to the surface, which it doesn't.
right.
Did you hose down your groceries at the beginning?
Did I what?
Hose down your groceries and scrub them down? No, I didn't do that either, but I saw a lot of people in my neighborhood with the groceries outside, them wiping them down with.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We didn't know, right? We didn't know going in what it was going to look like. And I don't think anyone on this side of it could have
No.
predicted exactly what has happened. But just like with business, just like with our personal lives, right? Community has changed. It's still there. And in
Oh,
some
it's very,
ways,
very much there.
right.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's very strong in certain areas that wasn't before. But I think we've all realized how important community is. It
Oh,
is
absolutely. Yeah.
we are able absolutely to isolate a little bit more at this point if we want to.
Yeah.
But the reality is isolation ends up affecting us negatively. Physical health,
Mhm.
mental health, spiritual health, like across the board, right? We are meant to be social creatures to a certain degree. And so in our businesses, in our lives, with our health, all of that kind of stuff, we've had to adapt.
Absolutely. And I've seen a lot of these spaces, like physical spaces, go online.
Oh yeah,
Conferences that I would never dream of ever going to if
right.
they were too expensive in person. I've gone to MozCon, which is it's an SEO conference that's held in Seattle every year.
Okay,
Haven't been able to go to that ever because the trip itself is expensive. Then the
right.
ticket on top of that. I've gone to the Search Engine Journal conferences. I've gone to all WordCamps, which is a big WordPress, which everyone knows I'm very big on WordPress. It's the content management system of choice that I love and all that.
Sure.
Very, very big community and very big in-person events that go on like every month
Right.
across the United States, across the world, called WordCamps. They all went. Most of them went virtual or didn't happen at all.
Right.
But a good portion of them went virtual, and they were outstanding. And things rolled with the punches, and I mean, yeah, there was glitches. Yeah, things didn't
Of
like the
course.
bandwidth didn't hold up, and things people were going like blah blah blah,
Right.
like glitching and stuff. But overall, things were going really well. And I think that we're also realizing now that we need to have an online component to these conferences now.
Yeah.
It's a lot more accessible. There's people who can't make it to these conferences, because WordCamp, here's an example. WordCamp US, which is the big WordCamp that they have every year. They didn't have it this year, surprisingly. They had a lot of small ones this year, which was interesting. But it's always streamed online because it's the big national event. They have one in Europe that
Sure.
they put out live streams, which is just a pain with the time zones. And they have one in Asia. Forget about even be on the East Coast of America trying to figure out time zones in Singapore or whatever. It's tough.
Sure.
And you watch it later. But the idea is that those were always live streamed. These smaller camps weren't. And these
Sure.
smaller events weren't. Because they're like $10, $15 to get in. because they're supported by the overall open source community. But
Sure.
now we're realizing that these meetups that happen all the time, why not have a Zoom? Someone with a laptop just turn it around, face the room. People can tune in that way. It's easy to do and whatnot. So, what kind of events have you gone to this year? I mean, I know you are big on doing events. Even I know when we first met, it was because this time last year we first met, and we've never looked back. Oh, I'm such a cornball. But anyhow, when we first met, you were doing events in Columbus in person.
Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to, last year I was supposed to travel to Philadelphia and do a speaking engagement. I was supposed to go to Cocoa Beach and do a speaking engagement.
What's Cocoa Beach, Florida?
Florida.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, they were canceled, right? I had a event. It wasn't a speaking event, but an event in Chicago that was canceled. And so it's one of those things that these kinds of things always push innovation, right? We
do.
We have to, and that's where events are now. That's where community is now. Is that space where we're hoping that things start to open back up, where we can do both. We have that option, but this virtual side of things is not going away. So, in a community sense, we can latch hold of that and make our community, so to speak, even more robust. It's interesting to me, before we were on, like right before COVID happened, right? Like right in that space, I'd never been on a Zoom. Ever. I had never.
For those who are listening, my mouth just dropped.
Yeah. Literally. I had never done a Zoom. You know how I hate technology. I hate it.
Yeah.
I had never done a Zoom. I'd either met in person or we talked on the phone. I maybe had done like a Google Meet a couple of times, but until we were locked down, I had never done a Zoom. And now I do so many of them every single week, and I'm so thankful for them. It allows me to get in front and make these conversations and make these relationships with people. And it's funny, because of COVID, I now have a lot more connections across the world than I would have had it not been for COVID, because I would have continued to do things like I normally did, right? And it's not smart, I don't think, to say that the only way to do things is virtually, or the only way to do things is in person, because you get different benefits to both. Virtually, you get a lot of that. You can meet people all over the world. You can connect, that kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot more accessible.
Is building that base community around us. And it's important as we move into the next phase, where hopefully it's a hybrid and we can be around people again and shake hands.
Wear those masks.
Yeah. Shake hands and hug, that kills me. But as we are able to do that more and more, we're going to be able to see the marriage of the two. And we actually, and it's a great time to talk about it, we're having a small business seminar. Diam has partnered up with Leadstraw, which is a marketing company out of Indianapolis. And we are doing a small business seminar, and we are banking on the fact that we can do live and in person again. It's going to be at the end of May. We're only going to allow a certain number of in-person tickets, and we're live streaming it as well. So it's, we're adjusting, we're going with it.
Absolutely. And that's the key. And I have also noticed a lot of online communities have sprouted out there, or like Indie Hall, for example, is one of the oldest. And Alex Hillman, one of our title sponsor, is the founder of Indie Hall in Philadelphia, one of the first co-working spaces in the nation, if not the first, kind of fitting that it's in the birthplace of the nation. Hence, Independence, Indie Hall, Independence Hall, all those kind of metaphors are right there. But he has had, turns out, an online version of Indie Hall for people that are not in the area who want to be part of the community.
Sure.
But not like he has now, because he has actually shut down the in-person building. He still goes there to get the mail and stuff like that. But it's all on Discord.
Right.
And it's fantastic. I've had people that are, one guy, Bruno. Hi, Bruno, if you're out there. He's from France, and he tunes in.
Yeah.
And he gets on the coffee chats. We have coffee chats every morning, 9 and 10 in the morning, to check in with everybody and chat. We have tea time in the afternoon at 3.
Oh my gosh.
We have. I'm gonna get Shannon in here if she can slow down enough. But it's just she's buzzing
I'm
around
working
me.
on it.
You're working on it. You're working on it. But they also have like show and tell, so you can show people what they're up to and stuff. Lots of great events. There's a whole huge things. Alex is just tuned in. And he's like, my ears are burning. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Alex.
Alex is in our live stream right now.
So I think though,
yeah, it's great though. It's really fantastic.
I think that's part of it though. There are so many opportunities now, right? And part of being in a community is showing up. And so whether that's personally,
she drops her mic. Personally, as you drop your mic, it's live
with my hands. Anyway, it is yes, it is the part, like showing up and being an active part of that community. And it's so easy to spread ourselves too thin. And I am like queen bee at that, right?
To your credit, let me interject real fast. To your credit, you have to spread yourself thin, but you still manage to be a part of all that stuff that you're spread across thinly. I don't know how you sleep at night, but you have more energy. Sometimes I think you have more energy than I do. And people who know me and Alex and vouch for this, I have a lot of energy. But I think I met my match with you because you're constantly going. You're an Energizer bunny.
Yeah, it's part of my charm. We're going to call it that.
It is charming.
It's really overwhelming. Depends on
it's great. But that's part of the thing is that these communities have realized that they're in real life, IRL, they're in real life. They had to pivot. Now the hall hopefully will go back to in person. I've also seen other co-working spaces not do the virtual very well. Like my co-working space Stacks kind of let that subside a little bit, but they did a lot more with the startup community, and they did 1 million cups, which is a kind of a device forum for startups and stuff. It's one of the bigger ones on the East Coast now because of that. So it's interesting to see how communities have adjusted.
Right. No, I mean, I am part of a co-working community called Co-Hatch, and it is all in person, right? And that's like my oasis. I get out of my apartment and go work someplace else. And so I think so as we are starting to kind of come back out into the real world, it's going to be important.
Be blinded by the light,
It's going to be important to start reassimilating into some of those things. I was a very active part of a couple of meetup groups going into the pandemic, and it's one of those things that it's just different now. It's just different, and things are going to start opening back up, and we're going to have to evaluate what our level of comfort is as far as that goes from the physical side, but also understand that being part of communities are going to help us out tremendously.
Exactly. I mean, one of the biggest communities out there, for better or for worse. I mean, if you've been watching the news with GameStop, and we'll leave it at that, and Reddit. But Reddit is one of the biggest places for community. They have tons of subreddits that they call their communities, and there's bad, there's good, there's mischievous, as we call the GameStop people, the Wall Street Bets crew. I mean, I won't classify them as bad. It's mischievous.
I gotcha.
And I mean, so there's those, and then there's also ones like Traffic Think Tank, and also there's Marketing Junto, my little.
Yes, and I'm a bad friend. I've got to get on.
Oh, I'll get you in there. I'm not a good friend, so I'll nag you in.
I've been working really hard the last 6 months.
It's fine. But there's like swipe files, and there's also something. Remember those things called LinkedIn groups?
Yeah.
They're more like spam groups, and LinkedIn really needs to get their act together and do something with that.
That could be such a huge tool for LinkedIn if those.
I'm missing something. I don't know what it is.
I agree.
I don't quite get what they're doing wrong because they have a lot more features in there now.
Right.
Like Facebook groups, but Facebook groups are eating its lunch.
Yeah.
I don't like Facebook. I'm on there because I have to because it's my industry.
Right.
Well, I would much rather be on LinkedIn.
I am the exact same way.
Groups and stuff like that, So there's Facebook groups, and then there's also, like, for example, Marketing Junto, completely built on WordPress. It has a social layer built through a plugin, based on WordPress. Using BB Press and Buddy Press. There's also forum software they can pipe into it, like Discourse. There's Discord, which is thousands upon thousands of servers out there to
Right.
join in on. So you can get lost in the ether, but you can also really find your community.
Right.
More now, I feel like, because we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to find each other.
Find that, right. Alex, I completely agree. Alex says Reddit is my favorite example of how the same tool can be used for incredible good and incredible bad at the same time.
Oh, it's a total enigma. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I feel like so much social media is like that, right? You can get onto a whole tangent when it comes to that. But
yeah, I call it gray matter is what I call it. Gray matter, because it's not black hat. It's not evil. It's not white knight at all either. It's kind of gray. It's kind of like
you can mold it how you want it, right? Mm-hmm. You can. So I guess at this point, I would encourage all of you to evaluate your community. Evaluate, first of all, the quality of your community. What are you wanting to get out of it? Evaluate, do you have different communities? Do you have a professional community? Do you have a personal community, right? Do you have community that helps you grow? Those kinds of things. It's good to put ourselves out there in multiple places. We learn, we grow, we all that kind of stuff. And you want to be around the same people who are supporting the same things you are in those spaces. The third thing is, are you an active part of that community, or are you just sitting back and evaluating, but not actually being a part? Because you will not feel like you're connected if you're not actually being part of that community. And
then that can also be in specific different ways.
Yes.
You can be more of a lurker, but everyone's will pipe in every now and then. Or they could be like Seth and drive Alex up the wall with ideas.
No, you can. And I mean, different people have different personalities, right? Absolutely. And so if it's making one-on-one Zoom calls with people that you find interesting in the community, I guess I would just encourage people to put themselves out there. Because that's where we feel connected. That's where we feel that sense of community. And we need that. We need that professionally. We need that personally.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break to thank our other sponsor, Breezy Masks. I just got them in the mail. Don't know where it is in the mail. Go blame them in the snow. But I'm excited because there's two kinds of Breezy Masks. They're fog-free. There's the exchange and the sport. So if you're going to go for a walk and you need a little less, I don't know what you call it, like layers.
Sure.
Especially in the winter, I actually find the masks are actually not that bad because they keep your face warm. You're breathing into them, so it's actually kind of good. But Breezy Masks, they have the exchange, which is 5 layers of protection with silver nanotechnology. I can't say that seriously. It's just too cool. Fancy. And then they have the sports model that is breathable and has 2 layers of the silver nanotechnology. Shannon swears by it, right, Shannon?
I do. Now, I will say, up until it got really cold, like I didn't have trouble with my glasses fogging up. Now that it's gotten really cold, my glasses are fogging up more, but they would normally anyway.
Exactly.
Right? Walking in, and so it's one of those things. But yeah, no, I love them. I absolutely love them. The other thing that small business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, we were shaken up a lot in the last 12 months, right? And piecing together a successful and freedom-filled business is difficult. And so the last Friday of March, the link will be in the show notes. Last Friday of March, if you order through the podcast, we'll get a percentage of that. So yeah, woohoo. So, but it is very important. We are putting together leaders in the fields of marketing, sales, operations, and finances. And those are where small business owners struggle, right? They know part of it. Oh my God. Yeah. And so it's going to be an all-day event from 9 to 4. I will be emceeing, and then we have breakout rooms, and we'll have a round table to ask questions of the experts.
Oh, this is wild. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. So it's going to be in Indianapolis, but there's a virtual event. We're doing it live. So you can, if you want to show up live, we'd love to have you. If not, right, we've got that virtual side. So be looking for more information on that as well.
Yeah, follow Shannon everywhere. She's out there, so that's a good thing. So, but also, yeah. So when getting back to community, when you want to, I feel like a lot of people recently are like longing. We're at our wits' end. Let's put it bluntly. We're at our wits' end.
Yeah.
Is this damn thing over with already? I mean, we're kind of getting down to the, 6th to an 2022. Hopefully by 2022 we'll be like done.
Right.
Moving on from this. I mean, like, because the rollout, they're getting the vaccines out. We'll leave that one alone. That's a little political. But people are now more than ever. If you have not joined a community, if you have not even found, like, there's something called Table for Four. If you search for it, it's by a friend. She does round tables where she uses Zoom, the breakout rooms, really well. And her name is Vicky Hart. Hi, Vicky, if you're out there. And she puts this on every Monday on Zoom. They have everyone come in, and then they break them down to tables of four, hence the name. And you get to meet people mostly from New Jersey, because it's the New Jersey kind of based network. I'm usually the one lone person from Pennsylvania, and Shannon will one day be the one lone person from Ohio.
Well, I won't be alone because there'll be lots of us.
There'll be lots of us, exactly. So check out Table for Four. It's all over LinkedIn, but that's one of those communities that's like, it's almost like the networking event. Like we talk about Indie Hall, where it's like a co-working space. We talk about these other communities that are like forums and meetups or online and all that. This is like a networking event. And it's not a paid plug. It's just something I've done every Monday.
Right.
You might meet people you like and you can get along with. You might get people that are like, okay, let's meet you. Also, there's Lunch Club too, which is also another one. Lunchclub.co.
I think it's so fun, I guess, from my perspective, to see the ingenuity and the creation of all of this stuff. It's just amazing how it's rolling out. I was just talking to a colleague the other day about something that's going to be coming online soon that I'm excited about. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a beautiful thing how pressure and frustration ends up driving change and driving all of this creative and beautiful thing.
Yes, I don't think anyone hears that, but my son sounds like a rhinoceros upstairs right now. Anyhow,
we probably ought to wrap this up, mister.
We should wrap this up anyhow, because I should probably go run around with him a little bit. I'm the highest strung. So anyhow, we have picks of the week. I'm going to make Alex blush because mine is Indie Hall at home. It's a great community. Honestly, I couldn't have gone through this pandemic without Alex. I mean, I've known Alex for years and known about Indie Hall for years. I've only really known about Indie Hall at home, their online version. Oh, thanks. You're welcome, Alex. But it's true. I mean, I'm so used to being a social creature. I'm very much, there's no introvert in me. So I need community, and I need to be out with people and hanging out with people, even if it's just virtual. And so if you go to indiehall.org, because they're also a nonprofit, you can go, sign up there this Friday is open hall. So if you go there, you can sign up and everyone's allowed in for free for the day to hang out and get a taste of what it's all about.
Nice.
Free plug for Indie Hall at home, open hall at first Friday of every month.
That is awesome.
And Alex will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. So, and Shannon's got a book for us.
Yeah, I just started this book. It's called The Art of Community, 7 Principles for Belonging by Charles Vogel, I think, Vogl. But it is very much, it's more directed towards business and leadership, but it's talking about building authentic communities. And I appreciate that very much.
Very fitting and very ironic. I'm not sure it's ironic or it's just fitting that you're reading that book and we're talking about community today. That was actually not planned.
I know.
So it just so happened to work out that way.
There you go. It's been on my Audible list for a while, and yeah.
Are you listening to it or are you reading it?
Listening to it. Yeah, that's
you
how
you can call it reading
most of my books.
But you're going. Audible's great. They're not even a sponsor yet. Audible, you hear us? But hopefully one day we'll get an Audible sponsorship. But we'll work on that. But anyhow, this has been always a blast. Also, Alex has a pick of the week here. Check out Structure of Belonging by Peter Block. So Alex Hillman of Indie Hall suggests that. We'll put that in the show notes as well. Thanks, Alex. Well, this has been great. Thank you, Alex, for tuning in. everyone, we're doing this live
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 7:15 at night Eastern. So tune in, watch the train wreck that is awesomeness, that is Digital Marketing Dive. We are getting better.
We are, and it's very exciting. We will start bringing guests on soon.
Yes.
So we're cultivating our list there and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Alex, you have been awesome today. Could I please ask you to drop the link for the open hall on Friday? Because I want to check it out, and I know some of our
Yes.
listeners will
We'll
want
put
to.
that in the show notes as well. Absolutely. So Alex, that's your job right now. Do that.
Woo-hoo!
But we, please reach out to us at Digital Marketing Dive in most places. You can see the little ticker below. We're Digital MKTG Dive on Twitter, because apparently Twitter made a character limit all of a sudden. It's relatively recent, so we can't get marketing in there. But otherwise, we're Digital Marketing Dive everywhere. LinkedIn, YouTube. Hell, we're on Twitch. That's what, so definitely. So go to indiehall.org/open. That's what Alex says, to check it out this Friday. It's a blast. You get to see me, and hopefully you get to see Shannon there as well.
Absolutely.
So, and there's a check out the show notes. And hopefully, you're staying safe out there. We're at the tail end of this. Let's stay safe. Wear those masks.
Yeah.
Even if they're not breezy masks, wear those masks. And also, when you're shoveling snow, they work very well to keep the nose warm.
Thanks, Seth.
Anytime. So yeah, you can always email us, your comments, critiques, concerns, thoughts at hello@digitalmarketingdive.com. We do have a Discord server that exists. I think there's 2 people in there. It escapes me who they are, but it's there. So if we get start generating a community, we can get people going on in there and chatting. If you're on listening to this and you feel so inclined to give us a review, hopefully a good one, go over. You can do it at Podchase or any podcast review place that you want. We love to have your review as well. So
DMD is made up of 2 individuals who work in the small business community, right? I own Diam, who works with small business. Seth works with small to medium-sized businesses. We want to serve you all. So if there are topics that you want to know about when it comes to digital marketing, if you want us to break down something, let us know, right?
Absolutely.
If it's something technical, it will be Seth breaking it down, and I'll just be chiming in with these ridiculous little comments. But we are here for you. Whatever it is that you need from us, please let us know. Reach out.
Absolutely. So definitely drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you guys. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday over Indie Hall. That'd be fun. indiehall.org/open. Check out Alex's book, soco.bz/tinymba. They'll get you right over to his page. Great book. I'm not just saying because he's a friend. I've read it. The guy knows his stuff. So. And it's not just because he's watching. I always said this anyhow, Alex. So
perfect.
All right, we'll see you on the flip side.
Great. All right.
This has been great. Bye. All right, we'll find how to end this thing. Bye, Alex.